Okay, and welcome to Riley Photos. This week we've got Paul. Paul's back. He hasn't been with us for a few weeks. Months. Just because... oh, hello. We've got Ernie as well. Just come to say hi. There you go, Ern. Keen photographer, aren't you, Ernie? No, he's had enough. He's had enough already. Right, okay, Paul's here because you've bought something new.
Yes.
What you had?
The Sigma 16 1.4 that's come out for Fuji.
1.4.
Yes.
Wow. So you're into the bokeh then?
Yeah. True.
What we used to call blurred background.
That's it.
When did bokeh actually become a thing?
I don't know. It's Japanese, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
What does it mean?
Blurred background.
It means blurred background. Okay, let's have a look at it.
There we are.
Wow. So, no
aperture.
No aperture ring.
Here's the ring there.
Yeah. Do you like that? Would you like having an aperture ring?
I like the aperture ring, to be honest. But it's hello. It's no problem.
It's not about you. We're doing a video. No. Okay, it's nice and light. It's compact.
It is, yeah.
16mm, but this is an APS sensor.
So it's 24.
So it's a 24mm lens.
Oh.
You know what?
Oops. Take two.
Yeah. Right, now, sorry for that amateur production of mine. Right, I've shut the dog out and I've turned the phone off. Let's get back to it.
Okay.
Sigma.
Yep.
16mm on an APS sensor, it's 24mm.
24mm.
You already had a 16, didn't you?
Well, I haven't actually got a fixed 16. I've got it covered on two other lenses.
So, that you know what I'm going to ask you.
Why?
Why have you bought it?
Well, the one is on the 2.8 zoom, and the other one is the ultra wide to 24, which is f4.
Okay, so you haven't got a really you're nothing past 2.8. So you want but it's not just that, is it? You've read about this, haven't I?
Well,
I know you like to read up. He's more technical than I am.
It's getting excellent reviews.
Tell me what they say about it.
It's very, very sharp.
Who says what about it?
AP, basically.
Yeah. Okay, the Amateur Photographer magazine.
Yeah, and I also checked it on YouTube to have a quick look, and everybody seems to be very satisfied. And it's a good price.
Okay. How much? Do you mind me asking?
350.
350 quid. That's not bad, is it? For a
1.4.
1.4 lens.
So it's going to be very useful for a lot of indoor stuff.
67mm filter.
Yep.
So, do you put filters on?
Yes,
you do.
Because
this is a big argument. I had this but I was with Ed the other day, and Ed said to me, I was listening to that Jared Polin guy who does a fantastic YouTube channel on sort of techie stuff and new stuff, but he said, quite rightly, he said, why buy an expensive lens and then put a bit of cheap glass on the front? But it's not a piece of cheap glass, because actually, if you buy a decent filter,
I always buy the really good one.
Yeah, well, if you buy a decent filter, it's going to cost you like 50 quid.
Yeah.
And actually, it's only a little wafer thin piece of glass. So I would argue there's as much technology in that than on each of those elements inside the lens. Because you're paying an awful lot of money for that little wafer thin piece of glass. And it's in their own interest to make sure that it isn't affecting the picture.
I had an incident with a Nikon lens, and I slipped and I fell down an embankment, and it wrecked the filter. Yeah. But the lens was safe.
Now you see, there you go. And I think with stone chips and things, and
they were saying that many years ago. I had one of the first zoom lenses. This is going back. I put a UV filter on, and it wouldn't focus.
Oh, really?
It never ever reached infinity. We couldn't figure it out at first. So I was in the shop trying it, so I took the filter off and it focused perfectly.
So,
but that's going back a long way.
Yeah. So I think there's just two schools: people that are prepared to self-insure, if you like, and say, no, I'm not going to put a filter on. I want the absolute best quality, and I'm prepared to take the insurance hit that if I have an accident and damage a lens, or get stone chipped or scratched, or I drop it and it drops on a stone and wrecks the front element, I'm just running the risk of losing my lens.
I've tried it with and without before on other lenses. I can't see the difference.
I can't see the difference. I've tried it with a UV filter, a quality UV filter, and without. I can't tell the difference. In fact, I'll do a video. Why not? I've got one on the channel about polarizers, cheap versus expensive polarizers. Let's do a review. I'll do that. Watch the space at the end of this film, because when I've recorded that film, I'll change the next film along once I've recorded it, because I've only just had the idea. But once I've done that, we'll change that to can you tell the difference between having a UV and not having a UV? But anyway, we've got this. This is your XH1.
Yes.
And so we're going to go out now and test it. Now, what shall we test it against? Well, I've got a Nikon ZFC APS sensor, same as this.
Yep.
And the kit lens that comes with it, a bit, I suppose it's a bit unfair to put a kit lens against this, because this isn't a kit lens. I mean, this is a prime lens, which is you're paying a lot of money for just for that you know. But I'll put the kit lens against it and see just how it performs. I mean, it's probably half the price, and it doesn't have the 1.4 aperture, but it'll just give us a comparison between the 16 to 50, I think it is, lens that we're actually filming with. It's actually the lens that you're looking at right now is that 16 to 50 on the ZFC, because that's what we're recording this video with. So let's go out and about. Let's take some pictures
before it rains.
And see what you think. So here we are, and the first picture, some rose leaves, look, with a bit of rain on them. So first up, is this the Sigma 16mm 1.4, or is it the Nikon? What do you think? Well, let's have a look at the next picture, see if that will help make up your mind. Here you go. There. Not a great deal of difference, but one of these for me is sharper than the other. I mean, have a good look at that. I mean, there's an awful lot of detail in that. Let's put them both on the screen at the same time. Now we've zoomed in a bit, it becomes even more apparent. Look at that one underneath. Look at the crispness on the edge of that leaf. Yes, that's the Sigma. The Sigma, significantly sharper in this very first picture. Absolutely astoundingly sharp. Let's have a look at a wider shot, something not quite so close up. Here's a garden shot. It's autumn, it's a bit of a grey day. And what do you think? Is this the Nikon, or is it the Sigma? Let's look at the other picture. Now, is that significantly different to you? It's not so easy to tell, is it, when you're not quite so close up? When you're really wide out at that 16mm, which in APS terms is a 24mm wide angle lens, it's not so obvious. You can get away with either lens here. This one, in actual fact, is the Nikon, and I don't think it's significantly different to the Sigma. Now, let's go close in on something again. There, we've got these little pods, look, growing on this plant. I don't know what it is, I'm no gardener, but what do you think? Is this the Nikon or the Sigma? Let's look at the next picture. Wow, that's sharper, isn't it? That's a little bit sharper. Not hugely, but significantly. I mean, there's a difference. But this lens can do something that the first lens on the left can't. Look. Boom. Yeah, it's the Sigma. The one in the middle is the Sigma, and on the right we've widened it. We've taken it wide out 1.4. Actually, no, I think this was at f2. I think that's the sweet spot for this lens. Next, a gnarled old tree. Now, this has got to be a good test for sharpness, and you can see one of these lenses. For me, one of these lenses is standing out. If you look at the detail, actually in the tree bark there, that one underneath is significantly sharper, and of course that is the Sigma. The Sigma has just got that sharpness, but I do like the colour. I prefer probably the colour of the Nikon. I think it gives more tonal colours. I think it's warmer, definitely warmer, and I think the Sigma's sharper. It's just as simple as that. This view here, the sun's trying to poke through. Look, and here's a garden shed, and is this the Nikon or is it the Sigma? Well, it's the Nikon. Let's have a look at the Sigma, and I think you'll see. Wow, there's so much more Christmas look to those leaves around it. There's the Nikon, and there's the Sigma. Definitely, for me, sharper. Now, what's Paul up to? He's found some leaves to do a little still life of. Okay, let's try them on that. Boom. Which one's that? Is it the Nikon or is it the Sigma? Can you tell? Well, I'll tell you, it's the Nikon. That's the Nikon kit lens. It's done a good job, hasn't it? You know, it's nice and sharp. I mean, how much sharper can the Sigma be? Well, let's have a look. Boom. A lot sharper. Look at that. Look at the detail in those veins on the leaves. I mean, I think that is so much, you know, sharper, so much more detail in that. That one, for that particular picture, that's a huge difference for me. Now what's he up to? Right, he's doing a close-up of that flower that's come out of the yucca plant. Okay, is that his picture? Or is that mine on the Nikon? Well, let's have a look at the other shot. Is that the Nikon? That's picture 2. Let's go back to picture 1. Is that Paul's with the Sigma? Or is this picture 2 Paul's? Well, actually, that first one is his. That's the Sigma lens. Let's put them side by side. And as you can see, you see what I'm saying? The Sigma is sharper, isn't it? It looks sharper, it looks crisper. But the colours on the Nikon above, I just think the colours are better. I prefer that slightly warmer tone. But the Sigma's sharper. Let's have a look at a little rose hip, I think they call these, and there's a little water droplet underneath. Now this is interesting because the one thing we noticed is that the Nikon can get in closer. It's definitely able to get closer, which tells you that the Nikon is the one below and the one above is the Sigma, but it's sharper, isn't it? And back to yours truly now. Finally, is this the Nikon or is this the Sigma lens? I mean, look at that. The eye detection's on. It's bitingly sharp, absolutely bitingly sharp. But there is a clue when I show you the other picture. There is a clue as to which is which. Here's the other one. And I've got the Nikon round my neck. Anybody that knows a Nikon strap will know that the first one was the Nikon and this is the Sigma because I've got the Nikon around my neck on the picture. I was absolutely amazed at the difference between the Sigma and that Nikon. That wasn't a fair test, and it was never meant to be. I mean, the Nikon is a kit lens, and it's only there as a comparison to show you how sharp that darn thing is. I'm amazed.
It is sharp. It's very good.
Would you say that's as good as some of your Zeiss lenses?
It's not far off, I should think so, easily, yeah. Maybe the colour isn't quite as rich. Yeah. Because Zeiss are known for that. Yeah. But it is certainly very sharp.
It is incredibly sharp. You know, they used to be, didn't they, third-party lenses. When I started out in photography, third-party lenses were the cheap alternative. Right. If you got a Nikon and you couldn't afford Nikon glass or Canon glass or Pentax or whatnot, you went with your Takinas and your Sigmas and your Tamrons. And they were kind of, you know, a cheaper alternative. That's right. Not now.
No. They all make excellent lenses now. Tamron makes some fabulous lenses.
Yeah, I mean, that Sigma's, that is, you know, that's blown me away. Just how good it is, just how sharp it is. You know, wow, really. I wonder if they make it, you know, something like that for the full frame. I mean, it would be great to see full frame.
Yeah. Well, there is full frame versions, quite a range, in fact, but you're not going to get it for the same price.
Right, of course. So APS is seen as an amateur sort of model camera, whereas full frame is seen as more.
They've got some great lenses for full frame. But
So they make 2 different kinds, do they, Sigma?
They make 3.
Right.
Contemporary, which is the standard,
That's what that is.
And then the higher up is art and sport.
Okay, so the sport one's going to be like faster forward focus.
Telephoto zooms and
zooms. And then the art ones is just the top of the range.
Fast fixed focal lengths, etc.
Okay, right. Yeah. Well, I am tempted. And obviously you were tempted because you bought it after seeing the reviews.
That's true.
And elephant in the room here. I mean, you've had that XH1 for a while now, but obviously we all know the XH2's now out.
Yeah, that's true.
You tempted?
Very. And the XT5 has just been announced.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I do love these cameras, and I'm getting great prints. I'll think about it. I might leave it till early next year. I don't know. There's no rush.
Christmas is coming up though. What a great Christmas present.
Well, it's true. Yeah. I'll have to see. I don't know.
I can see the cogs whirring, thinking, yeah.
Because I got 3 of them. Some of them can't really.
Well, yeah, you have, and obviously you've only got one pair of hands.
Exactly. I don't know. I'll see.
Well, this will be interesting. Next time Paul joins us for another look at another lens, it'll be interesting to see whether he's got his faithful old Fuji XH1 or whether there's a brand spanking new. Would you have the XH2 or would you have the T?
I'm very tempted with the XT5, to be honest. It's a bit cheap. There's nothing in it really, but I'm not interested in the video aspect of it.
Yeah.
Which I think the XH is better at that.
Yeah.
And the XT5 is more of a photographer's camera.
Okay.
You know, but that's been a bit extreme, I suppose. I don't know. I'll see.
We'll see.
I'll see.
We'll see next time he's here what camera he's got. Well, thanks for bringing the Sigma in. It was absolutely amazing to see how sharp it was. I couldn't quite believe it. I knew it was going to be sharper than kit lens, but I didn't realise it was going to be that much better. Thanks a lot, and if you've enjoyed that, please consider subscribing to the channel or hit the notification bell icon there, and you'll be notified when we post more free content to the channel for you to see. You won't need to go searching for it. And I mentioned something, didn't I, before? Was it the polarizers? Yeah, the polarizer filter. We did a look at that where we took a cheap one and an expensive one just to see what the difference was. And if you are interested in that, would you like to click on this link here right now? And it'll take you to that film.